here to you and looking right through you. Babies, getting right to it. We're facing some moments of some very basic and fundamental changes here on this earth. They're right here in our future and in our present past. I mean, they're on top of us. You see, in order to prevent riots in the street and general panic amongst the people, in order for changes to come, they got to be a little more prepared. So some very basic, huge, fundamental changes are in the offing in the next few weeks. And you'll want to be as open-hearted and as open-minded as you can possibly be as these moments approach. I know many of you feel them already. I can feel the mass of fear, the anxiety at the changes that are going on already, let alone those that we kind of anticipate. It's just that fundamental. We're really moving beyond ourselves now, beyond what we've known of as ourself. You know, each of us is an individual, divinely and sincerely appreciated and honored by all of life's creation. But at the same time, we're on an equal plane, an equal level with all of that life in creation. It's called equity, or the state of harmony, where everything gets along. Each unit, each individual in this beautiful composite we call our universe has their function and goes forth and performs it brilliantly. And this is the natural way of being, and everyone is honored for their place in it. Everyone, everything. It all works together just like a symphony in divine harmony. Comes together right here in your heart, and in this moment you can even feel it. Open your heart and you'll hear it. You become your natural part in it. That's the change I'm talking about. In order for us to redirect the energies here. And when I speak of us, I'm speaking of the angelic crew and so forth that are working with the earth and helping her come forward into her new age of graciousness. And all of her children right along with her, because she wouldn't leave one frickin' soul behind, no matter how God-forsaken it may seem. We're all going, babies. Nobody's getting left behind. Not a soul. Not you. I don't care how dark and dirty you've been, how many tricks you've played on people. Look at yourself and know that you've been manipulated too. This wasn't your idea. It's not your creation. You're just acting on the orders of others. Energies move through you. You're moved to do something. I'm speaking of those who moved in the dark ways and feel bad about it, or want to feel bad about it, if they can muster it up. But babies, you've been like sacrificial lambs. You've taken the heat for a lot of folks, and you've carried a lot of darkness and done a lot of silly, crazy things because of that darkness that dwelt within you, or the perception of it. But that aspect of your journey is over. You've done your service, you know. Couldn't have done it without you. Everybody's important and integral here. There's not one of us that doesn't serve a gigantic role. And this is the state of consciousness, the state of being we're seeking to bring you to right now, right this minute, so that you'll be aware of the divine nature in everything and go forth more respectfully towards yourself and calmly, and most importantly, calmly, into this new paradigm, which is pretty much on top of us as well. There's going to be this big shift. I mean, in the way things are done here on the earth. There's some cosmic changes coming into place that pretty much assure this will be. There is no backing down or changing it now. Well, you can change it, rearrange it, but it's still going to happen one way or another. It's here, and it's happening. It's already in place. So this is going to be after just a little bit of, how would I describe that? Upsettedness, a little feeling of disconnect, a little lightheadedness, a little dizziness, a little disorientation, because the energies in the earth around you will be changing sufficiently. They already are, but these are just degrees and waves that are coming to us now. I'm talking about the tsunami of love that's just about to hit here in the next few days. I think it's the next few weeks, but whenever it is, it's very close and it's on top of us. And when that hits, unconsciousness will be a thing of the past. Some people will have difficulty with this, but it won't take you long to get used to it. Help others. Remain calm within yourself. That calm spreads. Just let the mind expand into the heart's realm and see things as they truly are, because this is the nature of the change in perspective that is upon us. And it's predicated by some natural events that open the doors energetically for this to occur. And it comes like what you'll see of is outer space. It's a wave of love. Don't be afraid. You can feel it. I see kind of a greenish blue tint to it, whatever it is. But it's coming, and it's coming fast. It's right on top of us. It's right on schedule, whatever that is. Don't you just love the divine coyote medicine, how we never know until it's there, even though we know? The strangest circumstances we've lived in forever, man. But it's good now to be alive in this lifetime and finally seeing the culmination of the many centuries of grief and agony that we've gone through. We focused our love intentionally through certain beings in certain ages to get us on through, and they carried the weight for us to a point. And now that weight spread out through humanity. Each one of us feels it and carries it. But it's not a heaviness any longer. It's been a burden that slowed us down, made us dumb, self-tormenting. Not on purpose. It's just something we did. It's a sub-psychological thing. It happens when you feel that deep pain. Then you're punishing yourself for it always, pretty much. That's why you make a lot of the unwise choices you've made in your life. Shit knows I've made enough of them. I know how that one goes. But I'm coming back, babies, and so are you. And so are a whole bunch of others, too, right along with us. This is universal, kids. I mean, what affects one part of the person, especially the heart, affects all. And here we are, Mother Earth, the very heart of all things that be. The point where creation began. She's honored like a monument, but not a cold ground one, a living one. She's worshipped in many, many circles. Not in this agonizing, ingratiating way, but in a way of loving appreciation. That's all there is in worship. If you don't appreciate it, you ain't doing it right. But don't worry. You'll catch on, when you feel it. This is the divine awakening, the cosmic consciousness that finally, after all these generations of numbness, will allow you and I, all of humanity, to feel in a very real way. And because we can feel, untruthfulness is out the window. We feel truth, we know truth. We can interpret it into words if we have to, in order to accomplish whatever difficulty we need to unravel. In that moment, we have the access to divine truth at all moments inside. But it's been severely muffled, crunched right down to almost nothing. To the point where we think that anybody that can sense stuff in another person must be psychic or paranormal, abnormal. It's reality coming to you. And speaking the truth through your feelings. See, truth is something you live. It's not something somebody can tell you. It isn't contained in words. Words convey energies, thought forms, part of the harmony. They are part of the harmony. And the beautiful part, the way we've learned to use them now. We weren't always so dang gifted with them. We're getting better. By the way, you guys that are channeling these space dudes and dudettes with all the high spiritual messages, see if you can't get them to shorten up their breath a little bit. My God, they go on and on about the most tawdry of little things. Give the people the general idea and let them see it. Give them the feeling and let them know it. Trust this humanity, you chicken old floppers up there in the sky. You know better than to manipulate and try to contain and control this thing. Let it be what it is. The human heart is in command here, and it's perfectly honest and capable. It'll take you for a round or two, too, if you don't watch out. And you're too far graduated into that love. You're going to ungraduate a little bit, come back to earth. Oh, this is a cosmic awareness thing, man. All the way across the board. As I say, not one being in the entire universe goes unaffected. Not one particle of anything goes unaffected. That's how strong the energies are here, folks, and that's why we've had so much ET interest here. Part of our spirit family that's a little bit aberrant, but a little bit on. You know, it goes both ways. But there is beyond what you see as ET. I got to explain that a little bit. Now, there's these ET groups that work with us, and again, it's according to their place in the divine matrix here. And that's all good and dandy. Beyond that is another universe. A parallel universe that, you know, scientists are starting to talk about and so forth. That, remember in that last video how I talked about how there was a removal, a withdrawal of the tribes and people that we've been associated with in the divine way before we came to live in this existence? Well, they have lived in that parallel universe. And of course they've been influenced and affected here because they're still fully conscious and aware of what's happening. We are the ones that went to the dumb ways. And because of that, they've been able to assist us greatly. And in fact, this expansion that everyone's calling ascension, but this expansion expands us right in to that other dimension in which that parallel universe exists. In other words, it joins with us, actually. You know, the two come together. That's also what's known as spirit and organic coming together. The divine presence in material form, more or less. As we could see it from here, it'll be much different than that as we see it from there. But this is the getness there we're talking about now. It's part of it. But that is our star family that lives in that parallel universe. And like I say, their numbers are about 3 times what ours are. Maybe 4, I'm not sure, but it's a big number. But these are beings that, for each one of us that lives here, there is a part of ourselves there, too. You know? So as we're collecting all of our divine parts back into ourselves as human beings, that part is naturally attracted and drawn to us, and you're going to see some huge changes in the way we live, express, and experience life. It's a reunion beyond fathoming. There is no way we could conceive of it in this moment, yet we do. In our heart we feel it, and that is conception. How'd you like that? We made love and we didn't even know it. And conceived a whole new way of being. A whole new paradigm. Babies, I love you. I'm always thinking of you. And hell yeah, I'm a part of this, or I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you like this, you know. But just remember, not everything is what it appears to be. And I'm just one of you, and you're just one of me. You see? And we're going about this thing quite naturally. So I prefer not to be called guru. You know, just say, hey, that old cowboy, or that old hippie coyote, or coach coyote, whatever. I don't, but just not guru, or any of that other spiritual terminology. I'm kind of allergic to that shit, It's been abused and misused, and, I've had enough of the parables that seek to uncreate everything and break it down to the smallest little parts and analyze every bit of it and explain every facet of it, when such knowledge and information is already imprinted in us, and it doesn't need to be expressed and experienced in such finite detail. If you need the detail, go inside. You'll find it. You don't need major explanations from outside yourself, not even me. I mostly just drop hints and clues and a lot of energy. But I'll tell you some shit pretty damn straight up, too. It's a coyote thing. The one thing I won't do, and anybody like me either, is be untruthful with you. Ever. And what that means is we live it. Because that's what we are. We may still be imperfect human beings, but we fucking live it. We feel it. It's in our heart. It's working. It's doing its thing, even right now. And they're within you too, because you've managed to listen this far. Babies, I love you, and I'm always thinking of you. And please, just keep your wits about you as this comes. Most of you are going to come to this real calmly, real sanely, And it may just be that we do manage to put everybody to sleep and just reprogram it a little bit. Or it may come, but it's coming in a huge wave. There is one huge blue-green wave coming from what we see of as the sky, but actually it's in us already. It's the earth calling her love back to herself. The thing that she's been separated from. And because she's doing that, we are doing that too.